Welcome to BarryTsGarage. Good to have you back. All right, I'm here with Olivier Cerf.
It's really special because the Tracta, actually, the engineer Fernay and Gregoire invented the CV joint.
Okay.
And it was the very first time a front-wheel drive CV joints were running at Le Mans or anywhere. And they started actually in 27. The Tracta started racing there. And then this one was a 29 production, and they raced 4 years, 29, 30, 31, and 33, and always finished. It's the only car that's always finished the race with the same engine. And it also went back last year for the 100th year of Le Mans. It was invited back to race with the vintage cars. So we went, we didn't rebuild the engine. And, you know, we only raced, so it's for vintage, it's only 4 hours. But still, she ran 4 hours.
That's fantastic.
So, you know, so she's, and then Gregoire, you know, invented the CV joint, sold his patent all over the world, and always was ahead. He was always trying to think of what he could do as an engineer to improve the automobile. So he built this one right next to it, which is a 6-cylinder Continental. Tracta is very, very low. It's called a Tracta E. This is one of the very few left.
Wow.
And again with CV joints.
Right, so it's front-wheel drive. So the Cord is what comes to my mind.
Yes.
Was many years later than this.
So the Cord, the first Cord was in 1929.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep. The L29 for the year 1929, and the Ruxton was L29. But Tracta started in 26.
I see.
So Tracta was, now you had also Alvis that had front wheel drive, but it was not CV joints, right? So the CV joint was the big thing about these cars, you know, that Gregoire invented. And then, you know, a few people, now the Cord and the Ruxton have CV joints, but they're a little bit different. They changed the design a little bit.
I see.
For the US.
And what's the significance of the yellow car in the back?
So the yellow car in the bar is actually a very important car too. It's a Ford, a front-wheel drive, a race car with the race engine. It has a roof head, which is a high compression head. You can see it right here. And it has wind-fill carburetor. We do not know the full history of this car, where we were trying to find out, because it's front-wheel drive. It's very rare to find one of these types of racers front-wheel drive back then. It's not, except, you know, Miller was doing front-wheel drives, but it's not a Miller. Was it a prototype for Miller before? We're not sure.
Yeah.
That's why we say Miller or not Miller. We don't know. One day we'll find out. But it was definitely a race car because of what, you know, the engines was. Is actually this is probably one of the only original roof head still in existence. Yeah. They do these heads still, they reproduce these heads now for vintage racing.
Do they really?
So, but, and it also runs too, you know, like all of them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Be careful of that exhaust pipe when you're getting in and out of it.
Yeah, right? It's hot.
It's all business here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's crazy. And a lot of race cars back then, like the Tracta, the accelerator pedal is in the middle instead of the brake. They switched them. So you got to be careful. You know, you only make the mistake once, I always say, right? So then you really learn quick.
Yeah, I'll bet.
If you're still around. So.
Wow. So I'm sure this is a lot of fun to drive, huh?
Yes, this is actually, when it went back to the track, we had the gentlemen racing in the S-curves. They would actually pass a lot more powerful cars because of the handling of the front-wheel drive.
Right.
Of course, straightaways that get passed because this is only a 1 liter.
Yeah.
So it won Le Mans in its class.
Yeah.
In the 1 liter class.
I see.
You know, so it's a it's a great handling car. The wheels in the front are wider than the wheels in the rear.
Right, the front track is much wider.
Yes.
Huh. Right.
That caused for better handling.
Yeah. So you got better handling and also gives, I guess, room for turning radius and everything else with those wheels out there. That's fantastic. Well, so these are 29 and 30. I mean, you see the resemblance, but they're also quite different, aren't they?
Yes. And then you can see here that this is a true race car because everything was perforated. Because when they raced at Le Mans, they sealed it so that you could not open for the water, you could not open it for the gas. They had, when they pitted, they had an official cut the seals off so that you could put fuel and gas, oil, and all that. Because they were very, and then you had to carry a toolbox, you had to carry a spare, you had to carry everything like a regular car.
Okay.
You know, it's not like that anymore. But back then, the car had to be able to be driven regularly on the road. So it had, you know, lights, everything like a common car of the days.
I see. That's the way the rules were.
Yes.
That is fascinating. Well, you have some amazing cars here, and I appreciate you taking time to tell us about them. This is fantastic.